y'all, we are back with another dense update. Here we go. Will Morad and Jackson Terry of the World Fitness Project were both on with Talking Elite Fitness as well as Coffee Pods and Wands. Now, both interviews pretty much covered all of the same basis. They asked a lot of the same questions. A lot of the pressing questions that everyone is curious about. Who is funding this project? What are the dates and locations of the events? How did you go about picking your first 20 contracts for this year? We're going to get into all of that right now. So Will Morad and Jackson Terry have had a friendship for quite a while now. Will used to program for and coach Jackson, and that eventually grew into a friendship, which then eventually Will going out to Hawaii and them working together with Good Life. So originally the idea that they had was to build a facility that was headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee, and they were going to have an event there annually, some sort of competition for semifinal athletes whose season ends at semifinals because they didn't make the games. It was about 18 months ago that they started working on that idea. And then somehow everything shifted about 7 months ago, and that's when they decided to create the World Fitness Project. Pedro does ask if he ever had any conversations with CrossFit before starting this, and Will said no.
Have you had any conversations with those guys?
No, I mean, not for any other reason than just we haven't. It's just another option. I don't know, just did Rogue or Wodapalooza or all these other events ask CrossFit to run their competitions?
And their intent is not to compete with the CrossFit Games season. Pedro asked about the athlete contracts and if Will and Jackson had ever considered exclusivity, meaning that the athletes could only compete in their events and not compete in the CrossFit Games season. And Will said absolutely not. He just wants to give the athletes another opportunity to compete throughout the year and earn money. He does get into how they decided to choose the 20 athletes for this first inaugural season, and that is they put together a Rogue and a Games leaderboard from the past couple of years, and then they took 16 athletes from that, and then the last 4 were just people that they thought would be a good addition to the first season. As we already know, they've been slowly releasing the names of the athletes that have signed. There are a lot of big names signing. Justin Medeiros, Jason Hopper, Dallin Pepper, Brooke Wells, Alex Kazan, Chandler Smith, Emma Tall, Emma McQuaid, Roman Krenikoff, Travis Mayer, Alexis Raptis, and there still are many more to come. They explain a little bit more about how the online qualifier will work, and the online qualifier will be for the challenger athletes. They will do the online qualifier, and then the top 10 from there will go to compete in the pro division at the first tour event. And then the following 11 through 40 or however many they take will go and compete in person in the challenger category at that same tour event. All of these things earn them points throughout the year. And then if they can make it into the Pro World Fitness Finals and earn enough points to get themselves in the top 20 pro ranking, then they will earn a contract and be signed for the following year. So essentially, this first year is very crucial. They said they have reached out to several broadcasting teams and producers in order to figure out how that is all going to work. I'm assuming there will be a live stream on YouTube, but they didn't really get into specifics about how any of that is going to look. They did talk about programming and logistics for these events. So Will Morad is doing a majority of the programming. He has already programmed the online qualifiers. He has his first year model pretty much set up. He's already programmed the first tour qualifier and the first tour event and a little bit of the second qualifier. He asked what kinds of things we could look forward to as far as will there be cycling, will there be swimming, will there be outdoor running, those sorts of things. Do the venues that they are looking at accommodate for those types of events? And Will Morad does say yes, that he does plan to have swimming in a pool, maybe not any cycling, but of course running as well. But he is working with event directors and broadcasting teams in order to make sure that all of that can be implemented come game day. They will be drug testing these athletes both at events and possibly random drug tests. They have reached out to several different companies who will facilitate that for them. A lot of the big questions that weren't answered. Who are your investors? What are the dates and locations of the events? They did say that they plan to release all of that information within the next couple of weeks. So we should know something very soon. He also asks, of all the 40 contracts they have offered, has anyone said no? And so far, everyone has said yes. However, some have said they're still waiting to see what the dates and locations of the venues are going to be before they actually sign that contract. We do know James Sprague is one of those people. He was on with Sevan the other morning, and he talked a little bit about the World Fitness Project with him.
Are you signed with the World Fitness League yet? Have you committed to that?
No, there's a couple things holding me back. One is the dates not being announced. I know that they're trying to work around the game season, but like, you know, if they can't get the venues they want, the right times, I don't know. It might interfere. So I'm just am holding off a little bit longer till they get that objective information. But I will still very much be doing the game season, and yeah, I haven't signed mine yet.
Now, we all know that CrossFit started off very small. The CrossFit Games started off at Dave Castro's ranch in Aromas, and it slowly grew from there. It gradually and organically evolved over the years. So with that being said, the World Fitness Project, none of the people on this team have ever really run a major event like the CrossFit Games, let alone an entire season with multiple qualifiers, multiple in-person events, and then a big Super Bowl championship at the end. Now, Will Morad does have that experience of being an athlete and being on the athlete side of things, and he is learning all of the other side of things now. But to know that this is going to be able to be executed without a hitch at the level that it is going to need to be executed at because of the names that you have participating in this thing, the expectation level is very high. People might give them a pass and say, okay, it's their first year. They're going to have some hiccups there. Maybe they're going to have delays that they didn't expect for. There's going to be things that they didn't think of, that they didn't forecast, that plan ahead for. And maybe there won't be. Maybe everything will just work out perfectly and go their way. But it is a lot to put together in such a short amount of time, because really they've only been working on this for 7 months. And they said internally they have about 10 core people that they work with regularly. So I think one of the big questions on everyone's mind is, who is paying for this? Who is funding the World Fitness Project? Because we know this is not a small undertaking. This is massive. And some numbers have been thrown out. I think $15 million has been thrown out. And Jackson does talk a little bit about that. Pedro asks, do these investors and these stakeholders expect a return on their investment? And the short answer is essentially yes.
Generously investing a lot of money into the sport, into the league, then yeah, they're going to want to see the return. But
so at some point, this thing needs to grow to where it's going to be self-sustaining and earning a revenue income in order to pay back these investors. So I did take a look at the World Fitness Project Instagram page, and there was a name on there that I did not recognize that they were following. And then I also saw that the Barbell Spin had posted on Twitter that he had done some looking on the Alabama Secretary of State website. And when I saw that, it pretty much confirmed to me what I had already found, which was Beth Gillette is likely one of their investors. Beth and her husband Quentin own a company called Power Grid Services. She is the CEO and owner of that company. She is also listed as the registered agent and organizer for the World Fitness Project, which was filed in Alabama, and that LLC was filed for on October 11th of 2024. So the idea of the World Fitness Project came about 7 months ago. But the LLC for the World Fitness Project was not filed in Alabama until October 11th. Just thought that was interesting. Prior to owning the Power Grid company, Beth was the CEO of Associated Diversified Services, Inc. from 2005 until 2013. And in just a random Google search, I found that Beth and her husband, Quentin, just recently purchased a $10 million mansion in Boca Raton, Florida. So I would imagine this is the mystery woman that has been referred to as the $15 million investor. She is being followed by Alex Kazan, World Fitness Project, Jackson Terry, Heber, Will Morad. So we can expect to see some more updates within the next couple of weeks, more athletes being signed, and then eventually we'll get some dates and locations for these events. The Barbell Spin did post the other day that there are 2 weekends left in May that are open for potentially the TFX Oklahoma City event and whichever the first tour event will be for the World Fitness Project. So that is likely going to be one of the 2 weekends that we can expect to see that first tour event for the World Fitness Project. But again, nothing is confirmed. Also, speaking of the Barbell Spin, I came across this on his story and thought this was wildly strange. He posted a picture of Justin Medeiros' Instagram profile as well as Ellie Turner's Instagram profile with a picture of a tornado. They blocked him on Instagram, which is just wild to me because I've never heard Spin say anything negative about either of these two athletes. Barbell Spin is a news source in the CrossFit space, so I was blown away by this. Apparently he is not the only one. There's word that they've also blocked Vindicate, the person that makes all of the t-shirts for Sevan and Train Sentinel and Coffee Pods and Wads and that whole crew, as well as Hiller. Katrin Davidsdottir recently got engaged. She posted some pictures to her Instagram page with her fiance Brooks, and I'm not going to say his last name because I don't even know how to pronounce it. But holy moly, that thing was the size of my eyeball. Gorgeous. Congratulations. And also Katrin news, Katrin has joined the Dottir team for Wodapalooza with Annie Thorsdottir and Sarah Sigmundsdottir. And I did see some comments on that Wodapalooza post because if I do remember, Sarah was already committed to be on another team with Caitlin Van Ziel, and I can't remember the other female, but there were some people asking about that. Didn't see any responses. I trolled a little bit and commented just crickets. Because you know the people running the social media account saw those comments. They're just not responding to it. And I couldn't find the original post where they had announced Sarah, Caitlin, and the other athlete. Sorry, other athlete. I don't remember. It will be cool to see the three of them paired up. And then in other Wodapalooza news, Wodapalooza released a sneak peek to the new venue on Miami Beach. They posted to Instagram 3 slides of the new venue. Looks to be right on the sand. I've only been to Wodapalooza one time, but the one time I was there, it was extremely windy. There was a rain delay one day. I can't imagine doing this in the sand on the beach, all of the events. I see the appeal. I think it's really cool. And if the weather is perfect, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. When I think about like being on the beach in the sand, I would rather be barefoot. I wouldn't want to be walking around in flip-flops. But then I have to go to the porta potty. So now I'm going to go to the porta potty with no shoes on. I don't even want to get in a porta potty at these things, but you got to do what you got to do. Just things that I think through as a spectator. So now I have to wear flip-flops because there's no way I'm walking into that porta potty with no shoes on. Could you imagine the diseases you would get on your feet? You could just breathe in an STD in those things. They're so disgusting. Think ahead, people. Think ahead. If you're going to spectate there, it looks beautiful. Like, I'm not going to lie. I would love to be sitting on the beach in Miami for sure, watching a CrossFit event. It's picturesque. It's beautiful. With that much sand all around pictured in these pictures, it just made me think, holy shit, if there is any kind of wind or storm system that blows through, I wouldn't want to be out there on the floor with sand flying in my face and eyes and mouth. So let's just hope it runs well, it's executed well, and no big storms. And on this weekend's Kill Taylor, he had done a workout on Christmas Day, which was the 50 ring muscle ups into max effort cals on the rower, 6-minute time cap, and decided to reprogram it again. 30 cals was the reps to beat. Lots of people called in, but unfortunately, this was just one of those workouts that was going to be really tough to beat him in. So Taylor won again. Prize money will go up for the following Saturday. And again, all those workouts are posted the morning of on the Real Sevan Podcast Instagram channel. If you're feeling lucky and want to take your shot, I would imagine that is not going to be the workout 3 weeks in a row, but you never know. couple days ago, Dallin Pepper posted a new video to his YouTube channel. It's about 16 minutes long, titled What Am I Training For? It's a lot of him training. He's also talking with his coach, Matt Torres, of Brute Strength in here a lot. Dallin's YouTube channel is up to 4.8 thousand subscribers. He's trying to get up to 6,000 subscribers. Once he does, he's going to be giving away a Rogue barbell. So if you're not already following him, be sure to head over to his YouTube channel so you can subscribe to that and help him get up to 6,000. James Sprague also recently released a video to his YouTube channel, 12 Days Gone Wrong. James Sprague is the fittest man on earth from 2024. He only has 1,700 or so subscribers on YouTube. Guys, go over and follow these guys. These guys are the future of CrossFit. You need to follow them. This is just a 12-minute video, so this is something you could put on the car on the way to the grocery store. I like these shorter formats that the guys are putting out. This is a video of him and some of his buddies all working out at a local affiliate called Launch Mode CrossFit. They did the 12 Days of Christmas workout. Tutor Magda was in here with him. It's fun. You guys should go check it out. Every morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, Sevan is live on his podcast. Scott Schweitzer of Clydesdale Media has started a lunch podcast you can check out every day on his channel. Hi. Can I have a hug? Yeah. What do you think of my new setup out here?
I like it.
You dig it?
Yeah, but why'd it have to be in the garage?
Because there's not a lot of room in the house, and I was sick of doing it in the bedroom.
That makes sense. And we got that new cup from Nemo.
Oh, you like your new cup?
Mm-hmm. You didn't show my name.
And they don't need to know your name.
Yeah.
There's weirdos on the internet. You know that, right?
You know we're filming.
Yeah, I know. There's going to be weirdos watching this. That's how that works. That is all for this dense update. Be sure to leave us a comment, like, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you're into that sort of thing, you can head over to my Instagram where you can follow me there for all the latest happenings in the CrossFit community.